If you have ever tried to get your medical records, it can be confusing, it could be frustrating, and it could be time consuming. However, veterans, there's good news. There's always ways to speed up the process and get what you need without unnecessary delays, right? In this video, I'm going to walk you through step-by-step methods to get your military medical records quicker and get the medical records that you need. So there are multiple ways to access your military medical records. I'm going to give you the time frame for receiving your records, which does vary. I'm going to give you instant access options for some of you guys and gals, and what is the importance of having your military medical records. So let's dive right into it, right? There are two primary methods to obtain copies of your military medical records, right? Each has its own pros and cons, so you need to choose the one that works best for you. Okay, so number one, it's going to be in the description of this video. Request a copy of your VA claims file, which is also known as your VAC file. That is the fastest and most preferred method to get copies of your military medical records, and that is to request a complete copy of your VAC file. The description is in the link of this video. Why is this important? Why is your C file so important? Because your VAC file, it contains a comprehensive record of your military medical history and a whole lot more. There are many different documents that can be in your C file, including, but not limited to, your 21-526EZ, any applications for VA disability compensation benefits, your DD-214, certificate of release or discharge from active duty, military medical records, VA medical records, private medical records, disability benefits questionnaires, lay statements or statements in support of claim, nexus letters, buddy letters, CMP exam results, to include private contractor compensation and pension exams, VA rating decision letters, appeals, prior notice of disagreements, higher level reviews, supplemental claims, board appeals, etc. So to request your C file, you will need to submit a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request, to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Once you've completed the FOIA request for your C file, you can submit your request electronically to AccessVA. The description is in this video. You can also mail or fax your VA FOIA request form to. The address is in this video, and the fax number is in the description of this video. But you would mail it to the Department of Veterans Affairs, Evidence Intake Center, P.O. Box 4444, Janesville, Wisconsin 53547. And if you want to fax it into the VA, you would fax it to 844-531-7818. If you have not filed a VA claim before, your VA claims C file, that C file might not contain your military medical records. So in this case, you'll need to use one of the alternative options, which I'm going to go over with you, to get your service treatment records. How long does it take to get a copy of your VA claim C file? The time it takes to receive a copy, vets, of your VAC file can vary significantly. I can't give you an exact time frame. Some requests are processed in as little as 12 to 18 weeks. Others can take up to a year or longer. What does this depend on, and why such a long time? Well, there's a lot of veterans, a lot of people that have served, and they are backed up, right? So the turnaround time depends on factors such as where your records are stored, digital versus non-digital format. So newer veterans versus older veterans, the complexity and size of your file, the current workload of the VA office handling your request. Digital records may be processed faster, while non-digital or older files stored in physical archives could take a lot more time to retrieve and deliver to you, okay? Number two, very important, submit a request for your military medical records through the National Archives. The link is in the description of this video. If you prefer a more traditional approach, you can request your service treatment records through the National Archives. Look, request your C file and then also do the National Archives, okay? For the fastest results, use the eVetRex request veteran record system. It is an online request or portal option for your military records, okay? And here's what you need to do. Visit the eVetRex website, description is in this video, and complete the online request form. Submit the necessary information that you need, vets, to verify your identity and your actual service history. Request your service treatment records by selecting the appropriate options, okay? Alternatively, you can also fill out a standard Form 180. That link for that form, that SF-180, is in the description of this video, and you can mail it. I gave you the address, or you could fax it to the National Archives as well. However, that method of the SF-180 is slower and could take many months to process, right? So it's common to receive a transmittal letter from the National Archives stating that they either can't find your military records or do not have them, unfortunately. If that happens, read the letter carefully to see where your records might be stored and how to request those copies. You can also follow option number 1 above and request your VAC file that I said. That is very important. Submit that FOIA request and your VA Claim C file. So how long does it take to get your service treatment records from the National Archives? Depends. It varies. Typically, requests process through the National Personnel Records Center, the NPRC, can take anywhere from 3 to 12 months or longer. For more complex requests, such as those involving reconstruction due to the 1973 fire, the process can take even longer. Veterans, if you are facing an emergency or an urgent need, such as upcoming surgery or funeral, right, you can mark your request as an emergency request to frontline and potentially expedite the process, okay? So there is a backdoor option to download your military medical records online. I'm going to share that with you right now, right? This is a little known option that might let you download your service treatment records instantaneously, but this is only available to veterans who served during the period when the EHRs, the electronic health records, were in use, and that's generally from 2006 or 7 to later to current. Here's how you do it. You log into the TRICARE Online Patient Portal. Description is in this video. That link is. You use your DS logon credentials. Once you log in, you navigate to Health Record and you select Download My Data. Choose the appropriate date range for your time in service and download the records as a PDF file. And just like that, voila, you'll have a detailed copy of your military records in PDF format, okay? The TRICARE Online Patient Portal link is in the description of this video, okay? Transition to MHS GENESIS Patient Portal is very important. The TRICARE Online Patient Portal will be decommissioned and unavailable to users, unfortunately, as of yesterday, April 1st, 2025. The old site will transition to the new MHS GENESIS Patient Portal. Use that portal for your online healthcare requests and to view your current health record data. That description for the MHS GENESIS Patient Portal is in the link of this video as well. Note that some of your military medical records may not be available in the new system, depending on the time of your service, right? You need your medical records. You technically don't need them to file a VA claim, but the more evidence that you have, the better. Get copies so you know what's in your medical history. You are your best advocate for yourself. And it's so important to know what's in your file, especially for VA disability purposes. Your military records serve as key evidence that can support your case by providing documentation of your service-connected injuries, illnesses, or conditions. You need to obtain copies of your STRs if you can, because it's evidence for your VA claims. There's high probative value. Your service treatment records have high probative value and can make the difference between winning and losing your VA claim and getting the benefits that you have earned and deserve. And it's also getting you up to date on your personal medical history. It's always a good idea to keep a copy of your military medical history for personal reference and future healthcare needs. So, obtaining your military records, I know it can be frustrating and a little complex, but it doesn't have to be a headache, right? Follow what I just gave you. I just gave you a blueprint, and again, to wrap that up and to summarize that, is request a copy of your VA claim C file. All these descriptions are in this video, okay? I gave you the mailing address and the fax number to the Department of Veterans Affairs. Submit a request for your military medical records through the National Archives. Very, very important. And I gave you a hint with the backdoor option, right? Remember, the TRICARE Online Patient Portal, you can download, but you need to use your DS Logon credentials. You can download your medical records. And do not forget, important update, the transition from and to the MHS GENESIS Patient Portal. So the TRICARE Online Patient Portal will be decommissioned as of yesterday. It is done, right? But it is transitioned to the new MHS GENESIS Patient Portal. That link is in the description of this video. I hope that this helps you. Thank you for your service. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Share this out with someone that can use this information. I am a veteran, serving veterans, and we want you to be in the best position to win your claim. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this helps you go and get your medical records and stay in the fight. Thank you.